immediately after the first attack by the terrorists, the United States signaled that, well, that was somebody else's set of issues, we'd stay out of it.
Yeah.
And within, I think, about 24 hours, the U.S. was, in fact, in trying to mediate. And the vice president was both the one who said, no, it's not our issue, and also the one who came in and weighed in and did. Is it helpful from the Indian perspective, from the other country perspective, is it helpful to have the United States available as a mediator, as a broker, as a transmitter of signals, or should we just stay the heck out of it and let the rest of the world sort things out?
I would never presume to tell the U.S. to stay the heck out of anything it wants to get involved in, but mediation is not a term that we are particularly willing to entertain. I'll tell you why, Nelson. I mean, the fact is that this implies, even when you say things like broker or whatever, you're implying an equivalence which simply doesn't exist. There is no equivalence between terrorists and their victims. There is no equivalence between a country that provides safe haven to terrorism and a country that's a flourishing multi-party democracy that's trying to get on with its business. There is no equivalence between a state that is a status quo power that just wants to be left alone by its neighbors where the neighbors don't agree with us, and a revisionist power that wants to upset the geopolitical arrangements that have existed for the last 3/4 of a century. There is no equivalence possible in these cases. And in these circumstances, to suggest that you can mediate between two unequals is not possible.
Then how would you characterize the American role, and was it useful and helpful?
I'm guessing to some degree, Nelson, that the American role would have been, first of all, to keep themselves informed with conversations with both sides. And certainly my government received a number of calls at high levels from the U.S. government, and we appreciated their concern and their interest. At the same time, they must have been making similar calls at the highest levels to the Pakistan side. And our assumption is that's where, because that's the side that needed persuading to stop this process, that may well have been where their messages really had the greatest effect. But that's guesswork on my part. I don't know what they said to the Pakistanis.